Hi, it's Raquel Porter with Balloon Splendor, wanting to show you one of my templates here. This one is some balloon columns, several different styles of balloon columns. When I get the call, hi, how much are your balloon columns? I really resist rattling off some prices on this column right here. I will oftentimes let people know I have several different styles of columns. Tell me a little bit more about your event. And based on the information they give me, I will pitch several styles of columns. If I get the sense that they don't want to spend a lot of money, I may lean more towards linking balloon columns or maybe a simple topiary column. And if they're talking a little more higher end, I will start with these guys here. This one is one of my favorites. This uh, texture here represents like tulle or organza, and oftentimes I will wrap white lights up through the middle of it to give it a really soft glow, and it's just beautiful. Um, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and do red, white, and blue because this little sample here on the end is already colored in. So you get the call, you know the colors, so let's go ahead and color some of these in. So I learned recently that I don't actually have to ungroup it to color it in. I can just click on the individual balloon until these little black dot thingies show up. And in order to select multiple ones, I hold my shift key down while I'm selecting them. So I'm going to go ahead and color some of these uh, in red, just like that. I can click outside of it, and let's go ahead and if I do a red stripe, then this set of three on top here will be blue if I wanted to do like red and blue. And actually this one, and this one down here will also be blue. So that leaves these two to be red also. There we go. So there's a topiary. There's also some fun upgrades that we can do right from here. If the customer just wants it straight up, there it is. We can also come in here and add some ribbon. How funny is that? Let me get rid of that. I clicked one too many times. Okay. So I'm going to click and just do some gentle little ribbons, and we can thicken up the line, change. I'm going to go ahead and make these, oops, that's fill, I want line color. I'm going to change these to kind of like a silver color, and I'm going to change the pole to, I want to change it to black. No. If I were to, okay, let's talk about this. If I wanted to show white ribbon, I'm going to draw I'm going to draw a box.
See you later, Raquel.
Bye-bye. And I'm going to send it to the background. There we go. And now with a dark background, you can see that there's a white ribbon there. Okay. And let's go ahead and add a couple more ribbons here. And we're going to change the color and the weight. Make it a little thicker. Okay, so there's another option, and another upgrade may be to put little tiny, can't even see that. To add a little bobble. I'm going to go ahead and change these so that they're the same. And we can add the bobbles to the ends of ribbon. Go ahead and change that to red. Copy and paste, Control C and Control V on the keyboard. So I'm going to move that up and change my ribbon length up. Okay? So another way to do that, if you want a little more control, is to just do it outside of the picture. Go ahead and change the color to something you absolutely cannot see. Thicken up the line. Let's change the color to something we can see for now. Okay. And then we can add the circle down here. We were doing like 0.24, I think it was. Okay. And we're going to want this a little bit shorter, so let's go ahead and shorten it up. So we can do, we can do them out there, and then we can group them, and you can, whoops, grab it. There we go. And you can just go ahead and grab it and put it into place. I want that a little bit shorter. And sometimes I find doing the elements, lock aspect ratio, I find sometimes doing the elements not on the picture itself helps me to have a little more control over what I'm doing. Okay, so that would be, another little upgrade if you wanted to add the baubles. We can go ahead and change that line color now to white. Oh, how funny. You know why it did that? Because I've got it grouped, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it gray. Anyway, you get the idea. So that would be another little upgrade. And if you wanted to further upgrade it, depending on your client, you could take one of these little sprays, which I use to represent like onion spray. You can get them at your floral supply stores. We can do that in, I think they come in red. Let's go ahead and select red line color. How about for all of them? There we go. So if you wanted to do something like that, go ahead and change these balloons down here to blue now. So basically I'm going through different options to show you different options, not that this is the most beautiful design ever and you should be sending it just like that to your clients. The point is showing the different features and functions within Publisher and how to use one of these templates. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and group that all together and set it aside for now. And then we've got our lovely little balloon column here. And one of the fun things that I like to do when I'm selling columns is to do reverse spiral designs on them. So let's go down to here. So let's go ahead and color those blue. That one needed to be blue also. And then we can either leave those white or we can color the rest of them in red. We'll go ahead and leave them in white, and we'll put, okay, so if we were going to be doing, I'm going to go ahead and pull this down here to work with it. If you can't, when you drag the balloons off this white page and you can't see them down here, that is controlled under View and Scratch Area. It's a simple little toggle. It needs to be checked for you to see what you've got dragged into your work area. And this is also where you can turn off your rulers. I use my rulers a lot for scaling the decor. Alright, so here's some fun things that you can do within Publisher. You can, let me make sure I've got my, yep, lock aspect ratio is locked. Okay, we can do a control, copy and paste for 2 columns. You can also, I know this is, the whole thing is 1.31 inches wide, so I can grab this tab and I can just stretch it over here until it's 1.31 inches wide. 0.31. Okay, so now I've got columns that are mirroring each other. Shift, let's pull this over. Okay, if you wanted to do something mirrored, okay. So those are some other fun things you can do. You can also rotate them, and this will show you how they look rotated as you flip them around. Or you can free rotate it and spin it around all you want. But anyway, so that's one way to quickly get them to be mirrored. You just grab this and pull it over. Be paying attention how wide your column is so that they stay in the same perspective, the same dimensions. Okay, so what are some upgrades we could do with this? Well, a really super easy one is just to put a set of fronds on the top. So there are some fronds, and you You can scale it any way you want to find out what is pleasing to your eye. We can fill all of them in red. I've got just that one selected. We can fill them all in red. We can send it back so it looks like it's actually tucked into that top quad. That would be another upgrade. Another one might be to take some of the really cool 4-inch stars that are made, and like maybe in a white or silver. I'm going to make that line a little bit lighter there. And we can copy and paste. Again, that's Control C, Control V. So I've got 3 stars done here, so I'm going to go ahead and select those 3, and I'm going to copy and paste them as a set of 3. And then I can go ahead and fill this in. Just kind of put them out there for now. And whoops, I grabbed that wrong. Control Z to undo. Alright. So even though I technically don't have any sprays coming toward me, kind of a 3D thing, I found that if I just place some stars or baubles or whatever the element is into the fronds down here, it helps to give it a little bit of a 3D look. It communicates that the stars aren't just going out to either side. Okay, you can spend a lot of time making that look fantastic, but there's another option that you can do with the templates that I have provided. You can also go to your favorite balloon supplier, and you can pick up a balloon like this and paste it. Do the delete background color, and you can pop it up there also. So if you're going to be using foils, make sure that you are scaling them correctly. I think the bubbles, they say they're 22 inches. I think that's their inflated size. So if this is a 22-inch balloon, how does that, how is that proportionately here? That's almost 2 feet. So if I were to stack 3 of these together, that should be just under 6 feet. And these columns are representing 6 feet. So yeah, pretty darn close. There it is. So we'll go ahead and leave it there. So that would be another option. And again, we're just going to control our layering a little bit here. So things are, actually I want to go forward. There we go. Okay, so there's some more options. So a really cool thing that you can do within Publisher that I've recently discovered also is that I can go ahead and select this whole thing, and I can group it, I can right click, and I can save it as a picture, or I can save it as a building block. If this, take a look at the next column design here. This one is actually a pretty good seller for me on my, I don't want to call them higher end clients, but kind of higher middle range, middle higher range, whatever. This is a tool column basically. I use a lot of white tool, and on the pole underneath it I will wrap it in white lights, and it just looks beautiful. I love sparkly, twinkly, lit up decor. That's just kind of how I float there. Okay, so if you wanted to, for example, change this to a black, if you wanted to do black foil, or if you wanted to do like, different colored cellophanes, different kinds of textures, you can do that. Here's some different textures here. You've got more textures down here if you wanted to play with the different types of options and things like that. Have fun with it. See what else is in here if I wanted to change it. I think I can actually change where did I see that before? I think it was a texture fill. Anyway, I don't remember. That was a long time ago, so I'm just going to cancel it there. Anyway, I'm sure you can find it. That's half the fun of playing with Publisher, is figuring out where things are. So, okay, red, white, and blue. So what could we do? Let's say we wanted to mix the fronds. I showed you how to do them all in one color. So let's go ahead and I'm going to zoom in first. Let's zoom in so we can take a closer look at this. And I did that right down here. This is where you can control your zoom. And I'm going to go ahead and very carefully select every other frond here. It's probably going to look a little formulated, but you'll get the picture here. Oh, that's line. I want fill. Let's do fill colors there. There's a fill color there. And then we can go in and select the rest of them. And let's color those blue. Okay, so there you go. Now you've got half of them red, half of them blue. And if we wanted to put our stars on there again, we could. That'd be a little different look. We could leave the rest of it white and then imagine the little twinkle lights. So how could we represent twinkle lights? Let's go ahead and do a little star, a little teeny tiny star. Let's go ahead and color it white and a little teeny tiny line. Could that represent stars or twinkle lights coming through there? Yeah, I think we could explain that as lights, especially if you had a text with it, a little note on there maybe. And if you actually had photos of it, that would be another way too. But if you don't have photos, this is one way to work around the photos. What's another upgrade we could do? What if we wanted a couple of fronds out here? So let's see if we can copy and paste. Nope, that's not going to let us do that. So we have a couple of options. I can either ungroup that. Ungroup. Whoops, what did I just do? I just did an undo. Okay. Ungroup. I can pull just one. Let's pull out 3 of them. Shift down, 2, 3. Copy and paste. I'm going to hold my shift key down and my arrows to pull those out and to pull them down. I'm holding shift and my arrow keys at the same time. Okay, so now I'm going to group these guys together and I'm going to give it a little bit of a rotate and I'm going to tuck it in right there. Okay, and let's go ahead and send that, send it back a little bit. No, I didn't want to go back that far. Just layer at a time. There we go. Okay, so that would be a way of adding a little bit of visual interest down there. If that's too big, you can grab it, scale it down, you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, so again, these are all different ways to upgrade that same design, and when you're done, make sure you grab it all and group it together, lock aspect ratio so you don't distort the design. So there's another design that can be done, the few different modifications. One of my favorite columns here, the tapered ones. So maybe we do some, I don't know, what could we do with that? Let's go take a look at my handy dandy supplier here, and let's go look at patriotic balloons. Let's see what else they've got here. Let's see what kind of shapes they've got under patriotic. That's an interesting eagle there. Yeah, let's go ahead and go here. Let's take a look at this one. These are kind of fun little shapes, aren't they? Lots of fun little shapes. Alright, let's just go ahead and take this one here. Whoops. Right click, copy, and paste. I'm going to like that. Yeah, that works. Okay, and then let's say, I'm going to go ahead and ungroup this just because it'll make it a little bit easier to modify. Whoops, grab the wrong thing, rock. Okay, let's go ahead and go this way. Let's go this way. And I'm going to get these guys blue. And we're going to borrow one of these little stars down here. I can't copy that. We tried that before. Okay, let's just pull out another star here. So these could be the top print stars. And we're gonna, I wish I knew how to do the default line so it's always smaller. Copy, paste. So if any of you guys figure out how to change the default line so it's always the thin one, please let me know. Copy, paste. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do a few of these here. Okay. And because he's got the flag there, let's go ahead and stripe these guys. So let's do 2 rows of red, 2 rows of white, 2 rows of red, 2 rows of white, and is that going to look funny if we do it that way? Nah. It looks okay. I think we can get away with that. So there's another one. Let's go ahead and group that together. Okay, so there's another option. So I think you see where we're going with this. So this is kind of a fun one, having the linking balloons, because now you can make different structures with them. Let's say you wanted to come up here and maybe give them, I got just that one balloon selected again. Let's say you wanted to give them a different option for the doorway. Okay? Does that go here? I think it goes like that. And I'll just have to get rid of that. No, that looks alright. Okay, so there's another option right there. And you can appropriately color those in. So there you go. It's just some fun things that you can do with this particular template of 7 columns. I'm Raquel Porter with Balloon Splendor.